Hi, I'm Chef Bob. This dish what we're going to be preparing for you is hunter sausage with lentils, peppers, onions, and then it's going to be topped with a little bit of fresh bruschetta and basil and a drizzle of balsamic glaze. So first things first, we have all of our ingredients collected together. We have our peppers, onions, basil. This is the bruschetta that we're going to use, and then the hunter sausage. Once these are all chopped up, ready to go, I got a pan on medium-high heat with a little bit of olive oil into it. And then we'll just take our peppers and onions and get them on the saute. You don't want to overcrowd your pan, so generally you just want to fill up the bottom of this pan. Make sure it has that nice sizzle. And then just give a light toss. And we're gonna let these saute for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes on about medium. So we'll turn the heat down just a touch. If you put the peppers and onions in your pan and it's too hot and it's sizzling too hard, just gently take the pan off the heat. You can always come back to the heat. So those are coated with oil. Those are gonna cook down. We want them to be crisp tender. So by crisp tender, what I mean is they still have a slight bite to it. They're warmed all the way through, but they're not mushy. Just gonna add a little bit of salt. Season those up, and we're good to go. We're gonna let those go for 5 to 10 minutes until they're crisp tender. So to your left, we have a stock pot with a little bit of water in it, probably about 2 quarts of water. And then your favorite light beer in about equal ratios, so 50-50. And we're gonna make a beer poaching liquid. We want this to just gently be bubbling. So those little gentle bubbles, not too aggressive. And once it comes up to temperature, you're just gonna take the sausages and gently place them in and cook them for about the same time. All right, now that our sausages have poached for about 8 minutes now and reached the internal temperature of 165 degrees, we're just gonna take them out, put them on a drying rack, dry them off, and then we're gonna saute them in a medium-high skillet with a touch of olive oil. All right, our peppers are also done. So we're just gonna make a little room on the drying rack for them as well. And then we're gonna heat our pan back up. It's all right if you use just the same exact pan. And we're gonna heat this up to about medium-high heat, like I said. We're gonna put a touch of olive oil back in the pan. Using a clean kitchen towel, I'm just gonna slightly dry these sausages off so there's no extra moisture going into a hot pan with olive oil, because that's how you get a lot of splattering. You can hurt yourself, make a mess as well. Once those are all dried off, this pan's on medium-high heat. We're gonna wait till it slightly shimmers and it just begins to smoke. You don't want it too high because you'll burn the sausages on the outside. And what we're really looking for here is just to get a nice brown color on each side of the sausage. All right, so we're about there. We're gonna take each sausage and we're gonna go into the pan. You go down and away from you and just set down gently. We got that nice sizzle, so we know the pan's just hot enough. Give your pan just a little bit of a swirl. Make sure all the oil is all over the bottom of the pan and reaching the surface area of the sausages. And then while those are searing up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some fresh basil. Take each leaf, try to find the biggest leaf possible. Lay it down flat on your cutting board and continue to stack the leaves on in order of largest to smallest. Once these are all stacked like this, what we're gonna do is you just go from closest to you, pick up the basil and roll it as tight as possible. So it should look like that. And then we'll just take our chef's knife, knuckles turned in, chef knife on the board, and we're gonna chiffonade or lightly cut this basil into very thin strips. You wanna do this at the very end, otherwise the basil will oxidize and turn black. And you always wanna add fresh herbs right at the very end of all your dishes, anyhow, to give that fresh, vibrant flavor and color. So once these sausages start kind of spitting at you, what we're gonna do is we're gonna slightly turn them over. And you can see they've got a nice color. And we'll just do another 1 to 2 minutes on that side so we can get the same color. If it starts spitting too much like it is right now, we're just gonna turn the flame down just a little bit and control it. And then while this is finishing up, we can get our plateware out and get ready to plate up. So you always want to constantly be doing, while something else is working, if you have time, be busy doing something else. That's why it's super, super important to get everything in place, everything ready, everything prepped up, to when it comes to cooking, this should be the fun part and it should be the easiest part. So long day at work, you can come home and easily make a dish in 20 to 30 minutes that is restaurant quality within your own home for your family, your friends, dinner party, what have you. So these sausages are done. We're gonna kill the heat. We're gonna take them off the heat, put them back on the rack. And we're gonna treat them just like we treat a steak or a pork chop. You gotta let sausages rest for all the inner juice, flavorings to settle back in to the sausage. If you cut these sausages right now, all the juice and all the flavor would leak out all over the place, and it would be all the flavor would be on your cutting board instead of in the sausage. So treat all your proteins correctly, and it will yield a tastier product at the end of the day. So we're gonna rest those for about 4 to 5 minutes. Just let them chill out. Pan's off the heat. Earlier, we cooked off some lentils, just simply with some chicken stock, an onion, garlic, and a little bit of rosemary until creamy, but still a little bit of texture in there. Lentils are super, super easy to cook and a good substitute for a mashed potato or your average rice. What we'll do here, we're just gonna serve this family style. So we'll go lentils down in one spot at noon. And then again, you're just gonna make a little bit of mounds all the way through. So we'll go with 4. And you can kind of fill these out depending on the size of your party or family. Put that to the side there, and then we're almost done. We'll make room on the cutting board, and we'll bring back the sausages that have rested a little bit. So once that sausage is rested, we'll take it, put your knife flat on the board, and turn it at a 45-degree angle. Bring it up, knuckles in, and just make a nice slice. Probably about 1.5 to 2 inches per slice. And each sausage will yield probably about 5 pieces. And you can tell the juices run clear. Very juicy sausage. And presented at that angle, it looks very nice. So we'll take the sausages, lightly lift up, and we're gonna go right in between the lentils, right where that space that we created before is at. And then we'll do the same thing with the rest of the sausages. And then we're gonna come with the peppers, which are still warm. And you kind of just accent the plate. Once again, we're kind of just filling in the gaps. Make it look natural. Wherever it falls, it falls. But you don't want to cover up the star of the show, which is the sausage. So I'm going to go back and forth here. Corner to corner. And really fill in this plate. So now that our peppers are down, sausage is cut, lentils are down, everything's still very warm. We have our fresh basil that we're just gonna pick and let fall. So with my right hand, all I'm doing is just picking up a small amount here, and to control it, take your left hand and just gently pick out a couple strands of basil. Sometimes when you're garnishing, if you just pick up a big wad of basil, it'll fall all in one spot, and nobody wants to have that much basil in one bite. So to finish, we just got a little of bruschetta here. Just your regular bruschetta if you make it at home. Tomatoes, basil, balsamic, a little bit of vinegar, sugar. Very, very simple. Salt and pepper, made within a couple minutes. And then you're just gonna top right where we went with the basil before. Over the peppers, a little bit over the sausage. And you kind of want to have it just cascade off. Once again, filling in a little bit of the gaps where nothing's at. And then to completely finish, we have some balsamic glaze that we're just going to zigzag back and forth. Finish, and then we'll just wipe the plate a little bit, clean it up. Presentation is key. Everybody eats with their eyes first. And this is the family style hunter sausage with lentil, bruschetta, and peppers and onions.